Hello guys and welcome back to Disappointing Turtle. I'm Creed. I hope that you've all had a really good couple of weeks. I've been off the radar for a couple of reasons. One, I've been trying to learn some new software so that I can up my game on my videos. But two, I had a really horrible experience with the last big event. I know that was 2 weeks ago now, but that's how raw everything was for me. But today I'm going to go over what you need to be saving for your events, because we know that there's a Halloween one coming up. I am really hoping, fingers crossed, that it is going to drop on Monday, and you will find out why I'm really hoping. Yeah, enjoy! Okay, so let's have a look at some of the things that we should be saving. Let's start with the basics. So, resources. This is a hard one to judge, but essentially, don't open anything up. Don't use anything that you don't need to. Always constantly keep things building. Like, it's not necessarily good to have idle builders because obviously everything takes time. So if you're trying to maximize time, then you should have things building. At the moment, for me personally, my builds have got quite high, so I'm just holding back at the moment because I'm pushing mine to C35. I want everything up to C34, but I do need that 50% building boost in order to maximize my time and my resources. So I am keeping things ticking over, but I'm not using speed ups at the moment to speed them up. You can see this one's got nearly 2 days left on it. So it's just ticking over, but at the end of the day, that's one more building that I've got, and it's also, I've not invested anything into it. So as you all know, in the Honour Challenge, you get bags of goodies or whatever else. Do not open them, leave them there. This is where you will get, apart from farms, which obviously not everybody has, but this is where you'll get the bulk of your resources. So we had an event not that long ago, so I think I had like 700 of them or something, and I pushed my wall up, so I opened a load for the silver without having to raid like all my other farms and stuff. So yeah, don't use them. Wait until you get the... You don't have to wait for the exact day for the building, because you can still get the 50% buff before then, but just make sure that when it does come to construction and research day, you still have enough speed ups and enough resources there and able to gain those tickets. Because all the tickets that you gain, so everything that you maximize, will enhance your chances of getting some really good quality stuff. And I will show you some of that as well. Okay, so this is all my saved resources at the moment. Also, something else that you need to be saving is steel. So here's my steel down there. I do have some open. Powder you can use, but save what you get from it, because you have a day where you boost gems. What else we got on here? And obviously speed ups as well. So buy these every single day from the stores, not for money, for the stuff that you gather at spirit mines and through expedition and everything else. Just get as many as you can, use as little as you can. I still always manage to do my troop training, although as you can see I've got 9,000 training speed ups there, which is pretty freaking good. And I generally don't have any trouble. In fact, most of my issues actually come with resources, because it costs a lot of resources to build your troops up. But again, you know, you have a troop building day, usually falls on a Thursday, but it's not the same for everybody. And that's where you want to be maximizing these, especially in those main events, because that's how you're getting your tickets. So everything is about basically getting these tickets. Right, now I'm gonna show you something really freaking stupid that I did, which is pretty mortifying. But if I scroll back up here, so these are my tickets and my teapots from the last event that I didn't get to use. Partly because I'm a moron, So I should have checked, definitely. I usually rely on the mail. Didn't get one. Not an excuse. But these will remain here forever and just literally mock me. I've got a lot of... They equate to what would have been quite a lot of stats. I was trying to push myself up to 6k. Bearing in mind I'm C34. And I was really looking forward to doing that. And I was absolutely ecstatic I was going to be able to do it because I'd saved all my stuff. And I'd got loads of tickets. I did use some, so you can see I've got 947 teapots left. They're the tickets. And I did use some, but I did not. I used enough to like push me up in the event, basically. So the things that I needed, I bought with the tickets. And then usually what I do is I save a massive bulk of them right until the end of the event. And then I'll go through all of the different things that you need. So I'll go through like recruitment banners, shooting gallery coins, all of that sort of thing, and see what I've got. And I'll buy up everything that I need to max myself next time. So if I need gem essence, I'll get a ton of that. If I need some scrolls for something, I'll get some of them. And I generally won't boost them at the end of the event. I will just leave them unless it's something that I know that I can increase my score on next time. Because as we're saying, this is about saving everything up in order to get the maximum. So even though it's the last day of the event, you don't want to be boosting yourself on that day. The days that you need to be boosting yourself are the days where you get the rewards for upgrading specific things, whether it's equipment, guard weapon, all of those sorts of things. So, right, let's have a little look and see what sort of stuff we need to be saving. Okay, so guards. If we go down into a point guards, and you can see here that these are my guard weapons that I've got on here at the moment. And so that's everything that I've got equipped. We've got some upgrades there. Obviously, I'm not going to do it because, well, I don't have enough stuff anyway, but I wouldn't want to do that. But if you can see here, so I'm short of this many. So what I would do is, usually on an event day, you get two things that you would have accumulated things for. So I would, I don't know, say it was recruitment banners and guard weapon, they usually come together. So I would go to my recruitment banners first, which I know that I actually don't have very many of, because the events have been quite close. So I would go over to here, I'd go onto my recruitment banners, I would use up all of these ones, and then go into my bag and open up the cards, get the rest of the recruitment banners, use all of those. That would give me tickets. I will then use those tickets to then buy the rest of the lava gems that I needed in order to be able to upgrade my weapon. And then in doing so, that will maximise my point score, and then that will give me more tickets. And then with those tickets, I can either get more recruitment banners to then get more tickets, or I can invest in some more lava gems here and upgrade another weapon and then get more tickets that way. So basically you're trying to balance yourself out, but while increasing stats, but also making sure that you have enough tickets left over for the next day. I mean, everybody does this differently. This is just how I do it. So curiosities as well. You need to be saving these. You can get really good point scores on these. So you can see on R5 here, I've got R6 ready to be activated. What I will probably do though is actually upgrade these ones first, which will increase my point score. Then I'll activate the R6, which I'll then build up again, which will in turn increase my score. I know there's been a little bit of confusion actually. I see a lot on sort of like the official Facebook page and stuff like that, of people complaining that they haven't got any tickets from doing these events. And what that usually is, oh, I've gone into the wrong bit, is essentially what you've done is you've broke down a piece of equipment, which has essentially put you into a deficit point area, is the only way I can explain it. So you come into here and this will tell you what each piece of whatever it is, equipment, I mean, what are these? Yeah, there we go, okay. So equipment, gems, it's all there in the list, so you can all go through it yourselves. But it will tell you how many points each of those is worth, okay? So if we just go down here and we'll take in the new gear to account. So we've got Pursuer here and the Bloodtooth as well. They've slightly changed this, so they've done it a little bit upside down. So let's see if we can find what a... Right, Pursuer boots. Okay, let's just say that because +3 is what you need to have to upgrade. Okay, so you've got a Pursuer ring, and this is how many points it's worth. So it's worth 175,611, and you're going to go up to a level 1 Bloodtooth. Okay, so we go up here, and then you'd have a look at the Bloodtooth to see how many increase that is, what score increase that is. Okay, so find the ring. Okay, so that's 189,850. You then need to do the math. I'm not going to do it, but do the math for yourselves. And if you're short on points, that is why you're not breaking that point barrier and then getting those tickets. So then the idea is that you need to do another upgrade. And it does this for everything. You need to check it. You can check your score as well. I believe it is over here. So you go onto your profile and onto here, and I'm pretty sure yeah, here we go. Okay, so there's my equipment power. So I have got to go over that. Can't remember where the other ones are. But it, you know, it is pretty good at guiding you. Okay, so here we go. So that's my coat of arms score. So if I break down a piece of equipment, that score is going to be minused. And then when I make another piece of equipment, it will be added back on. But that piece of equipment that I've made might not necessarily meet the same point standard as the one that I've broken down. So please be careful when you are breaking stuff down and remaking stuff, or if you're worried that you haven't got points, come and check first. Because I definitely do see a lot of comments and stuff about that for sure. Okay, so obviously you've got airship parts as well, parts and components. So this one has different score levels, but essentially you get points for upgrading your airship. You get points for upgrading the components. You don't get points for doing these, so you can do them, that's fine. And obviously that adds to your overall power as well. And you get points for the actual airship parts as well. Now, you've got tactical manual here. I have never unlocked any of these because honestly it is ridiculous trying to actually get the manuscripts. I mean, like in a year and 3 months or something of playing, I only have 77 out of 500. They made these pretty much obsolete when I first started playing Guns of Glory. And so you could still get the scrolls, but they didn't do anything. And then after that they stopped them. They very recently started them up again. The only place I can find that you can get these besides winning them, is by doing bounties. So you can, let's have a little look, we'll just go in here. So when you go to raise a bounty, that's what these ones with the question marks are. So, I mean, I've only started doing it recently because you now can obtain the airship parts and things in other places, and I'm, not really fussed about XP. Badges would be nice, but I've got enough for the moment. So that's what I'm hitting for at the moment, but that's the only place that I can find that they do them, but I don't know whether they add to your score or not. So if any of you guys do, please let me know down in the comments, because it would be really interesting to find out for sure. They've moved everything around because I've got this new little... I know not everybody has this yet, but you will do. I've got this little cannon challenge going on here, which is quite good actually, because you can... I'm getting some airship parts and some little scroll things and stuff from here, so that's always helpful. We can't get enough of them in the game, if you ask me. What else are we looking at? Right, okay, so one of the other things that they have in the challenge every time is shooting gallery. Now, I know that not everybody has this unlocked, Personally, I would just advise anybody just to spend the 99 pence to get it unlocked because it is worth it just for the ticket value. But yeah, so the idea is just to use as many as you can. It gives you a bracket and then it gives you tickets in exchange. It's one of the more easier parts of the game for lower down castles to get their tickets. So especially if you're a C16 and over, I think that that is something worth investing because what you'll find, actually I don't think it really applies so much to the game now, but definitely when I started playing, what you'd find was you wouldn't be able to get as many tickets as the bigger castles because you just simply either wouldn't be able to equip the things, so like curiosities and things obviously open up at a certain level, so you wouldn't be able to have anything in order to gain the points, so that can be quite frustrating, but that is an area where you can gain those tickets and essentially invest in your future game by buying these things. You know, if you haven't got curiosities unlocked or you've only got 2 slots of curiosities unlocked, but you know that you're going to go upper castle level in this 50% event, then you can invest with your tickets into the next lot of curiosities by buying the books. Or, you know, however other way, you might be able to obtain some stuff through the shooting gallery, and then you're investing in what your castle is going to be like in the next event. So you're always thinking ahead of what you're progressing on, but always looking at your stats as well to see where you need to build. And I know that guards have kind of changed the stat system a little bit. It's almost not as important, but it is still important. And with the sort of heavy distance and heavy cavalry troop marches at the moment, that's probably where people should be putting their stats. I've been putting a lot of mine on damage, so that's the way that I'm going at the moment, because basically I'm trying to lessen the blow from the bigger castles so that I actually stand a chance. It seems to be working so far, so I'm not going to complain. Gems. Right, let's have a little look in here. Oh, and equipment as well. Right, let's have a look at equipment first, so I've got that open. So essentially what you want to be saving is any scrolls. So I think, yeah, I have. So I've got a hat there, a little bloodtooth hat, but I've not forged it. You can actually forge them as long as you don't equip them. It doesn't count towards your score, but I'm the sort of idiot that if I forge them, I might accidentally equip it, so I dare do it. So it just sits there taunting me in all its glory for a little while. Hopefully I get a few of those soon. Now, I save my bottles up, but you don't need to, as long as you just save what's in the bottles and don't touch that. I know when they first changed the threats, the beasts and stuff, and they put in the pursuer events for you to get the bottles and things, there were around that time a couple events that involved opening bottles, but they were quite a long time ahead of when they actually released the equipment. I know it doesn't seem like it because it all smushes into one, but we actually had about 3 or 4 weeks of just sort of collecting the bottles through a small event anyway. And then they changed the thralls and the guards and the way that they were doing everything. And then we had sort of like a 9-week event where those open pursuer bottles were in there as well. And they incorporated that into a couple of the smaller events. I think it was more just to give people a bit of a helping hand and to give those bottles more of a purpose. And I thought that was quite a good call. So I suspect that they might do the same thing with the Bloodtooth as well. But for now, I think you, especially around this event, I think you can get away with just open them as and when you get them. Unless you have a system, everybody has a system. I like to open mine in 10s, but I do it singularly, but I'll only open 10 and then I'll leave it for like a day. And then I'll open 10 more singularly and I'll leave it for like a day. One of my players opens 30 in one go, and he seems to do really, really well from that. Everybody does it differently, so you just do it however you feel, but don't feel as though you have to keep storing those bottles up there because there's no advantage to it at this point, and I can't see it happening anytime soon, especially not in at least the next 3 or 4 weeks anyway. Okay, so a couple of other things that you will need to save. Let's just go into research. So scholar scrolls as well. You only open, I really can't remember, I think it's C22 you open up combat 2, and a couple of these other ones, but essentially you need these here, these scholar scrolls. they're also in the main events or the seasonal events or the 50% events, whatever you want to call it. Everything has so many names, right? And yeah, so one of the challenges is to use as many of those as you can. So save them up. They're getting harder to come by, I think, but they have now put them into, it's either Spirit Mine store or the Expedition one. I think it's Spirit Mines. Um, so you can start to actually buy them within the game now. So that's something else that you'll need to save up. Also your materials for war books. So if we go into our library of war, it said 000. Then I nearly had a little panic, but no, they're all there. Yeah, my war books are a little bit hickledy-pickledy at the moment, so I'm not really paying much attention to them. What I've done is I had to move them all around, and base my cards on my guards essentially. So that's why I only have like 4 on inventory. They were quite well balanced before, and I was sort of boosting health ones that in turn boosted damage and defense and things like that. But whilst I don't actually really know what the fuck is going on, I've simply looked at my guard, seen what their skills and their abilities are, and also taken my main march that everybody's using at the moment, being my distance, and then I've got my backup for my cavalry, and I've just matched those. I like to do mine by what I call like cert stats, so nothing that relies on what your enemy's stats are or how many troops your enemies have, because you don't know and you can't guarantee. And scouting's starting to get a little bit like risky now as well, so half the time we're just having to attack because otherwise you're too late and it all happens too fast. Right, what have we gone through? Oh, okay, yeah, alright, so I got completely sidetracked, didn't I? Let's go into these pursuer sets. So talking about sort of like enhancing and getting more tickets and boosting your numbers and whatever, everything else. So you get points for like upgrading, and then you get points for the enhancements and the star level, but not for rune. So that's worth bearing in mind. So you can upgrade these runes as and when you get them, as and when you want to. I'm waiting for this one and this one at the moment. I need to get out and hit some more beasts, and then that'll be sorted. Yeah, so star level, don't use that. That's these heart things, save those. Enhancement, so you're looking at saving all your crimson gold. Yeah. All your blue ether crystals, and as I said at the beginning, all your steel as well. And then gems, which are just next door. So obviously we've got the guard treasure hunt now. Ooh, haven't deployed anything today. I've completed mine, but you can still keep sending stuff out every day and accumulating all of this stuff. So just because you've completed it, like, still check in on here, because I know that some people don't. I've been working today, so I've been a little bit lapse. Again, you don't need to save your dust, but I just like to save it just in case I like really mess up in some way. So we've got some upgrades going on. I've got a few things that I can do, a couple of things that I can upgrade, and this works the same as like the equipment. So if you get a trance jewel and you're still on your shadows, just make sure that whatever you're dismantling, you can make up that point score again, because otherwise you won't get any tickets, and then you'll be absolutely flabbergasted because you'll be thinking, oh my god, but I made like 6 trance gems and I managed to get them all to +3 and I didn't get any points. Well, it's because you've just dismantled 6 plus a million shadow gems. I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. I don't understand why people are flabbergasted, and well, actually I do. It's because they don't understand how the point system works, because either nobody's shown it to them or nobody's explained it to them before. I think it's something that, because you have to actually go looking for it, it can be overlooked, definitely. Okay, I think that's it, guys. So hopefully this helps you for the new people that are just starting to play. It gives you a little bit of guidance when people are telling you save up for the 50% events, just so that you know what you're saving for, but also you know what benefits you are going to get from it as well. Just remember, maximum tickets means maximum top stuff, essentially. I mean, I know a lot of it's like components. When I say components, I don't mean like airship components. I mean like the dust and things like that. So it's other things that you need to build the stuff with the scrolls or the books. That all needs saving as well. And resources, save, save. Get as many speed ups as you can. Use as minimum as you possibly can all the rest of the time until these events come up. And then as soon as the events are done and you've emptied everything out, you start again. And if you have farms, you don't necessarily need to do these big main events on farms. You can use the stuff up on there, but just bear in mind that if you do save some stuff up, you can actually get some stuff that will help your main castle as well. So bear that in mind. But obviously, please remember that your farms are farms and not mains. When you start really grinding on like several accounts, it starts to take up your time and it becomes more of a chore. Farms are literally there just to supply your main castle with resources. Try not to use them for anything else. I know there's some big powerhouse farms out there, but at that point they're not farms anymore. They're main accounts, guys. Come on. Wake up. Stop trying to pull the wool over our eyes. I've got a farm and it's a C40. Yes, okay. That's not a farm anymore. Right, anyway, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thank you for getting me up to 400 subs. Really, really appreciative. Just try and get up to 500 now, I guess, and we just have to keep pushing it. Hopefully my new editing software has worked all right and nothing's gone too awry. And yeah, good luck for the Halloween event. I hope everybody does amazing. Have a lovely evening, guys. Take care.